One battle after another is a monumental It's a unicorn in the contemporary cinematic scene, a studio picture where an auteur filmmaker is given $100 million plus to make an original action movie with one of the biggest contemporary movie stars. For those who are unaware, it follows ex-revolutionary Bob Ferguson, Leonardo DiCaprio at his comedic best, as he searches for his kidnapped daughter as an evil from the past hunts them down, and it is exhilarating. It is, as the title says, all about the continuous battle for freedom.
Freedom is no fear, just like Tom Cruise.
Given the current state of the world right now, this one's incredibly poignant. However, where this diverges from other quote-unquote provocative films this year, such as Eddington, which I love, is in its emotional core, which I find to be deeply rooted in optimism. Let's get the big guy out of the way. This is very clearly PTA with the largest canvas that he's ever been given. Vista vision, explosions, freaking car chases. With many filmmakers, it feels like once they're given giant budgets, the executives get a significant hold over the final work, but that can be further from the truth when it comes to one battle after another. For me, it combines two different aspects of his filmography. Firstly, it takes the chaotic energies of his late 90s to early 2000s movies, such as Boogie Nights, Magnolia, and to an extent Punch Drunk Love. Where I find this picture to be the most like any other of his works is the tone of the aforementioned Boogie Nights. Yes, it's comedic and the two binary opposites of the stoner dad DiCaprio, and, please excuse my informality here, the silly little pen, more on them both later, intone one battles comic flavour with tastes of stoner comedy and Doctor Strangelove-like anxiety, what he can really do is laugh. Yet again, more on them both later. I find it is difficult to go through the 164-minute runtime without, at bare minimum, chuckling at one of these comedic variants, as PTA's writing is very clearly intent on allowing the audience to have a good time. The second is the tension, drawn out over the course of the film. It may be one set piece after another, but the central conflict is very immaculately woven into the full runtime. It's tense and doesn't let up, with Johnny Greenwood's percussive score hammering that into the audience's ears. PTA managed to apply the tension of There Will Be Blood's best scenes into the contemporary near-dystopian action that is one battle. Hence, to put it simply, it is still PTA, unfiltered even by the colossal budget the film was given. There's a car chase in the climax, which is genuinely one of the most tense scenes within the narrative, and is constructed with what seems to be a simplicity inherent to his style, where some of the most difficult set pieces come across as easy and second nature for the beloved auteur. Yet again, PTA inhabits his film with excellent performances, all of whom are fine-tuned to perfectly fit into the different tones that the film provides. DiCaprio is giving his best comedic performance as Bob Ferguson, as he uses physical comedy to enhance the out-of-practice nature of his ex-revolutionary. He gets roughed up and he's exhausted, unable to be the slick and cool hero the genre typically features. It is easy to overlook this performance as DiCaprio's take on the Dude, the legendary protagonist of the Coen brothers' magnum opus, but that wouldn't be the case. Bob is paranoid and angry in a way that only DiCaprio could pull off. Yet, unlike in times when he's been as expressive as this in Wolf of Wall Street, he's never brought as much emotion to a role like this. He's a fuck-up who knows it, but wants to do better for his daughter, and this really comes through in this performance. Could he get another Oscar for it? Maybe. The supporting cast is then rounded out by Benicio del Toro as the more outwardly heroic but aptly goofy Sensei Sergio, Chase Infinity as Willa, a killer first-time silver screen role with a lot of presence, particularly when she has to share intimate scenes with DiCaprio, portraying the complicated father-daughter relationship the two characters share. Tiana Taylor as Perfidia Beverly Hills, Willa's absentee revolutionary mother, and Regina Hall as Deandra, another member of the revolutionary group known as the French 75. Del Toro emanates a cool underneath the on-paper ridiculousness of a character by the name of Sensei Sergio, but is also able to apply heart in his relationship with DiCaprio to make it all seem natural and the banter effortless. Hall manages to weave into the narrative as the only low-key character, putting forth a weight to the conflict of the film which may have otherwise come across as too overly quote-unquote comedic without the character. The emotional gravitas is portrayed through a performance without the bells and whistles of DiCaprio's, balancing the tone in order to not fall into melodrama. Then there's the one performance which steals the entire goddamn show, Sean Penn as the sinister Stephen J. Lockjaw. Penn is terrifying in this role. The way he contorts his face in reaction shots, subtly twitching muscles, or his walk, which is likely going to become one of the most recognizable character walks in at least 2020 cinema. There is also the dangerous melange of desire for respect from his white supremacist pals, aggression and stupidity, which will combine into a predictably unpredictable antagonist who can genuinely scare the audience. He is the distillation of the near-dystopian setting the film occupies. Thus, I find that one battle after another is an incredible revolutionary character piece, not so subtly masked as a huge-scale action spectacle, which needs to be watched by everyone, and I do mean everyone. It might be too soon to call it a perfect action film, but screw it, I think it likely will be considered as such in the years to come. One battle after another, 5 stars. Well, that's all. Keep on watching movies, and form your own opinions. See you in the next one.